Hello everybody, welcome to Object Oriented Programming with Java Laboratory. So here in this video, I'm going to explain about program number 5B. So program number 5 has two parts. One is method overloading and the next one is constructor overloading. In my previous video, I explained you about method overloading. So in this video, I'm going to explain about constructor overloading. Okay, let us understand what is constructor. Before going to the actual code of the program, let us see what is constructor and why do we need constructor and what are the different types of constructor. A constructor is a special method in Java. A constructor is a special method in Java which is used to initialize the attributes of a class. A constructor is called whenever a object is created. So there are four types of constructor in Java. The first one is we have default constructor, and we have a parameterized constructor. Then we have a copy constructor, and we have a fourth one that is private constructor. There are some rules to create a Java constructor. So whenever you are writing a constructor, whenever you're creating a constructor, the constructor name must be same as the class name. The constructor name must be same as the class name. So it should be same as the class name, and you cannot write any return type to constructor. Constructor overloading. In Java, a constructor is like method but without return type. You can overload the constructor like how we overload the method in Java. So what is constructor overloading? So constructor overloading in Java is a technique of having more than one constructor with different parameter. You can have the constructor in the class, more than one constructor in the class, but with the different parameter list. How we saw for the method overloading, same way we can implement a constructor overloading as well. Now let us go to the program and we will see the code of this constructor overloading. Student, here is the program. That program number 5 says that write a program to demonstrate the method overloading and constructor overloading. Method overloading we have seen in the previous video. So in this video, we will see the program with respect to constructor overloading. Okay, student, here is the code of the constructor program. So I have created one class called student C, that means student constructor, and I have two constructor here in my class. So here, how can you say that this is a constructor? So here, the name of this constructor is same as the name of the class and no return type. If you add return type, it will become the method. So constructor doesn't have the return type. The constructor overloading is happening because I have two constructor with the same name, but they differ in the parameter list. So here, in the first constructor, I don't have any parameter. So if you don't have any parameter, then that constructor we will call as a default constructor. If we have the parameter, now for example, see in this constructor, I have two parameter, int I and string n. So this is called parameterized constructor. You can have one more constructor with different parameters and different types of the parameter. So now in the first constructor, in the default constructor, I am printing the default values of the attribute. So where we are calling this, whenever I create a object, now I'll go to main code. See here, this is the main code. Now here I am creating the object for my class. Whenever the object is created for the class, constructor will get called automatically. Now here, which constructor will get called? When you create this object, the first constructor, that is without any, see here, we are not passing any parameter. So that means the first constructor gets called. So this constructor get called and we will get the value. This is the default constructor and the student ID, that ID we are printing here. What will be stored in the ID? Constructor will initialize integer value to 0, float or double value to 0.0. For the string, it will initialize with a null value. So you will get 0 for this ID and null for this ID, because the definition of constructor says that constructor is used to initialize the attribute of a class. So you will get 0 and null are the initial value. Now for the second constructor, we are calling for the second constructor here. Now see here, for the second constructor, we are passing the value because it is a parameterized constructor. We have the parameters here. We have to pass the value to that. So here I'm passing the integer value. I'm passing the string, some name I'm passing. So this 10 will be stored in the variable I. This David will be stored in a variable N. That we are is assigning to our attribute which we have declared in our class. So ID is equal to I, name is equal to N. That we are printing. Now when this get printed, we will get 10 and David because we are passing to it. We will not get the default value. We will get these values. This is about constructor overloading. Let me show you the output of this. I'll compile this. We don't have any error. I'll run this. See here, we are getting the first constructor output, that is default constructor values are student ID is equal to 0, student name is null. So here we are not given any values. Constructor initialize the attribute with the default value, that is 0 for the integer, null for the string. In the next parameterized constructor, you can see that we pass the value 10 and David and we are getting it. So same program, I'll show it in Eclipse. So this is my Eclipse software. I'll go to File, New. I'll create a new project. I'll give CC constructor CO constructor overloading. I'll click on next, then click on finish. Then right click on that constructor overloading project. Go to new. Select class. Give the name student C. This is the name we have given in the program. Class name. So student C. Click on next. Then here I will paste the code. Save it. Run it. So here we are getting the output. The default constructor value, that is 0 and null, and the parameter constructor value, whatever we pass, we are getting it. Student, I hope you understood this program. Please subscribe to the channel and share among your friends. Thank you. Thank you so much.